Welcome back to Meaning in Christ. This video is a part of the My Thoughts on God series where I discuss my interpretation of Bible stories. Today, we're exploring a unique angle on a centuries-old question. Why is pork forbidden in certain religious traditions? Despite pork being one of the most consumed meats globally, it's been a taboo in several major religions, particularly in Judaism and Islam. But what if I told you that this dietary prohibition has just as much to do with ancient political rivalries as it does with religious beliefs? This focuses on two ancient rival kingdoms, the southern kingdom of Judah and the northern kingdom of Israel. These two Hebrew-speaking regions shared cultural roots but developed significant differences over time. One of the most intriguing distinctions was in their dietary laws, particularly the prohibition of pork. You see, while both kingdoms had similar origins, their lifestyles and economies began to diverge. The northern kingdom of Israel was more urbanized, with larger cities like Megiddo and Beth Shean. In these bustling urban centers, pigs were practical and even necessary. Because pigs are excellent waste eaters, they could consume leftover food scraps and even human waste, which made them incredibly useful in crowded cities where waste management was a constant challenge. Archaeological evidence supports this, showing that pig remains accounted for a notable portion of the diet in the north, with some cities having up to 8% of their livestock remains consisting of pigs. In contrast, the southern kingdom of Judah was more rural, with an economy that relied heavily on agriculture and pastoralism. Here, pigs were far less useful. In a rural setting, animals needed to provide multiple benefits. For example, sheep and goats not only provided meat, but also milk, wool, and even manure for fertilizing crops. Cattle could be used for plowing fields and producing dairy products. Pigs, however, didn't offer these additional resources. As a result, they were seen as inefficient and even economically burdensome. This difference wasn't just about practicality, it became a cultural marker. The southern kingdom of Judah likely viewed the prohibition of pork as a way to distinguish themselves not only from neighboring cultures, but also from their northern counterparts. By rejecting pigs, Judah created a clear cultural and religious boundary. We are not like them. By the 8th century BCE, after the invasion of the Assyrian Empire in the northern kingdom, the pork prohibition was formally codified in the Torah, cementing it as a core aspect of Jewish religious identity. But make no mistake, this was more than just a theological rule. It was a cultural tool that reinforced a distinct sense of identity among the Judahites, which saw an influx of Israelites. Some scholars argue that the prohibition was less about health concerns and more about social and political dynamics. In this context, the pork taboo served as a form of resistance against external threats, like the Philistines who consumed pork, as well as internal threats from the northern Israelites, who were perceived as less strict in their religious practices. In short, the pork taboo was not just an act of religious devotion. It was a deliberate effort by Judah to create a distinct cultural and national identity, separating themselves from both their rivals and their neighbors. Today, the prohibition of pork remains a central tenet in both Judaism and Islam, symbolizing religious obedience and identity. But its origins may have been rooted in the ancient need for one kingdom to distinguish itself from another in terms of both lifestyle and values. Understanding this historical context sheds light on how religious practices often evolve from complex social, political, and cultural dynamics. So, what do you think? Does this theory about the influence of political rivalry and lifestyle differences change your perspective on dietary laws? How do you think these dynamics shape religious identity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching as I explored my thoughts on this topic. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the intersections of faith and history.